Earlier this year, Onision and Kai were accused of grooming a teenage fan, and as the time progressed, this allegation seems to be true. So today, I'm specifically going to cover whole situation regarding Billie. First, I was not going to make video about this topic as things were not clear at all, but after the Chris Hansen interview, things look a lot more clear than they used to before. To understand the whole story, we need to go back to 2015 when Kai, who is now known as Onision's husband, used to be Lenny.
Hi, I'm Greg, and this is Lainey, and today we're going to do boyfriend-girlfriend tag because we don't have any ideas.
This was the time when Kai had not came as a transgender and changed their name from Lenny to Kai. In order to make story simple to understand, whenever I refer to someone as Kai or Lenny, basically they both are same people. At this time, Kai was identified as a woman named Lenny, and in the following year, Lenny came out as bi and Onision was supportive of it. He also made a video about this topic, and looking at like to dislike ratio, he had won people's heart.
Just so you guys know, I'm the type of guy who doesn't get jealous of the person he's with being with a person of the same gender. And the reason I feel this way is because I feel like women offer something different than men do.
But Onision, the eager opportunist that he was, saw this situation and pressured Kai to date this girl named Billie, who just turned 18 that year. And how do I know Kai was pressured? I will talk about that later, but stick around. Kai used to talk to Billie on a regular basis, but the thing that seemed somewhat weird to me is that the first thing Kai asked Billie in DMs is, "Are you into girls?" Now this wouldn't have sounded weird if this wasn't the first thing that is asked in a conversation. After several weeks of talking in DMs, Kai invited Billie to their house in Washington and paid for her flight as well.
How did it finally get to the point where you went to Washington State to visit Kai and Onision?
We were talking for about 2 weeks, and Kai had offered to fly me up to hang out and kind of see if things would work out and just kind of get to know each other better.
So if you guys are enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe. I have to research for hours to make the story short and simple, and it was quite painful to be honest. Billie was told that Kai and Billie will have their own thing, and Onision had nothing to do with it at all. Onision is just Kai's husband.
After the whole kind of talking about if I was interested in girls, where it was my husband, or I have a husband, he wouldn't be involved in our relationship, if we have one.
So the first day when Billie arrived at Kai's house, Onision forced Billie and Kai to kiss, and it was kind of uncomfortable for Billie.
Is there some sort of grooming or conversation, or take me through this?
So it was the first day, Greg was already trying to get me and Kai to kiss, even though we, didn't know each other that much. So it was definitely very pressured into us kissing.
Now things start to get weird when Billie arrived there for second time. Onision started to cause some unnecessary drama among Billie and Kai and use that as content for his YouTube channel. Onision also has this thing that he does to make girls feel not better about themselves, where he shaves their hair, and the reason being that is most girls like to look pretty, and having beautiful hair is a part of that. And when they don't have that, they start to feel a bit uncomfortable.
We've heard stories about him shaving girls' heads. Did he ever do that to you?
No, but he wanted to.
He wanted to. And what's the purpose of this?
He told me it was to be able to be forgiven, to prove that I love them. And I'm not sure. I'm sure it was to, make me embarrassed or make me not like myself as much, because I do care a lot about my hair, and he very clearly knew that. I want to be a cosmetologist, so it was just one of those just a jab at you, shave your head.
And don't think I was any good. There was this girl named Sarah living in their house who was underage, and Kai used to get naked in front of her. Remember, the girl is underage, and this is the same girl regarding to whom allegations of grooming were made. I'm going to make a video regarding Onision and Kai grooming Sarah, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe.
Did you ever think that they broke the law with Sarah?
Yeah.
In
sure.
what way?
Just from some of I just think of this one very specific thing where I walked upstairs and Kai was just completely naked in the tub, and Sarah was just sitting on this high chair, pretty close, clearly underage, with someone that they had a crush on. And it just seemed already normal at that point, it had been happening for a minute, and it just I don't know, clearly isn't okay and didn't sit right with me either. So I told Greg about it, and he kind of made a big deal about it, and was okay, so they're not going to do that anymore. And I was like, okay, cool. But then he started being like kind of mean to her all the time too. So I don't know if that was just to show me that he, I don't know, didn't like her or something.
And then the thing happened that caused breakup of Onision and Kai. Onision cheated on Kai with Billie. Although this is a kind of unexpected for Kai, but this went as the way Onision has planned. Now hold on to your seat, because I'm going to take you in a week future with this whole situation. When a fan asks Kai, I don't want to sound offensive, but why did you have a girlfriend in the first place if you were married? Then Kai replied, because Greg, who is Onision, consistently asked me to have one, even though I don't want one. When I came out, he suggested this idea. Even when I said I was open to it, I didn't want to significant others. And now let's travel back to the place where we left. Now you will know how dumb Onision is. When things were heated between Onision and Kai due to this cheating stuff, he made Billie sign contract to stay in a house for a week longer. The contract was not even made by lawyer. He used to just print that stuff on computer. That's how dumb this guy is. That document doesn't even have any value at all. Now you may say why this whole drama didn't come out earlier. Mainly because people were afraid to speak against him. At that time, Onision wasn't hated as much as he is right now, and he doesn't have that much influence as once he used to before in 2016 and 2015. That's why people are not scared nowadays to speak against him. So guys, this video took me a long time to make, so if you guys subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that. I also found out this one video of Onision which was really bad, where he was abusing his ex-wife. I will talk about that later, so stay tuned for that and make sure to subscribe. See you later.